There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box.
I'd like to confirm this with you one more time. There were 4 passion flowers in bloom in that box, correct?
Yes, I should hardly think I would have miscounted such an eye-catching flowers.
There must be a deeper meaning to this statement, and it appears that I must take a gamble on its meaning for me to make any progress. The Prima Deck statues were already switched by the time the murder happened. In light of that fact, when Francisca saw this room before the crime, it's of incredible importance. Okay.
Okay, so let's go to that last statement, because we got it for a reason. And let's present the passion flowers.
Why?
Because she said 4, and there's only 2.
Can we look closer? No, we can't. Francisca, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
It does appear that way. Ha, I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis.
Mr. Edgeworth? What are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this?
Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, sir. Yeah. All I've done is state what I saw. I've made not a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles?
At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find hard to dismiss as relevant.
Ha, then let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove?
I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy.
They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth.
Rips them from the pot.
I understand. I would rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. This watering can has a rather robust design.
Mr. Edgeworth, why are you telling us stuff we can clearly see for ourselves? Plus, if you keep wasting time like that, talking about that, Miss Von Karma's gonna get arrested.
Okay, better examine something else.
These windows.
The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these flower supports.
Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there's only 2 here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little eye has failed you. Ah, Miles Edgeworth! Hurry up and shut this man up for me already.
I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I?
Yeah, show evidence.
I believe I have just the piece of evidence for you require.
Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight. But I highly doubt it'll last until the end.
You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang. We'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth behind the passion flowers reveal can be seen as a piece of evidence.
Go back.
Back?
Them sticks.
Hair sticks?
Yeah, they're actually... You can see the little tips of dirt on them. Like, they're used to prop up the flowers. And there's 2 holes.
Okay, but what happened to the flowers?
Somebody ripped them up.
Oops. Oh, wait, we can examine?
Hey, take a look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. There's dirt on here. It's totally ruining the beauty of the hairstay.
I suppose. Why is there dirt stuck to the end of a hair stick in the first place?
Edgeworth, I already told you. So hold the flowers up.
The design of these things are rather eccentric for hair sticks.
Huh? Really? Well, if they're that strange, what should I do with them?
I have to say, these are by far the most bizarre hair sticks I've ever seen. In any case, Kay, there's something I've been meaning to ask. How exactly do you stick that hair stick of yours into your hair like that?
That's a secret.
Curiouser and curiouser.
I actually have a hair stick. Do you guys want to see how you attach a hair stick?
I assume you just like jab it in, so like the tip is like lodged into your skull.
Yeah, actually, yeah. When you have long hair, you actually also comorbidly develop a hole in your scalp where you can dig products into.
I mean, anybody can have a hole in their scalp if they try hard enough.
Yeah. Okay, sure. I guess it's not fun when everybody already guesses that it's impalement. Next time I'll bring the hair stick up. It's downstairs. Yeah, it's this. It's present.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what button. Sheena, who is supposedly in Babal the entire time, has these hair sticks on her that look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said these hair sticks are in actuality plant sticks. Support sticks for the passion flowers.
This frying pan is actually a drying pan.
God dang it, Brock!
I mean, him and his jelly-filled donuts, you know, it's just an icon. So what? Is this really all that important to the case?
Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the countries tonight.
Yeah!
Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in Alabast, but somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and the statue.
Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal.
How did these support sticks find their way to Babal and why? There must be some reason as to why they ended up there. Aha, so that's why! Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape.
It's just another stick, isn't it?
And so it is, but the shape of the support stick is what is important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is...
Such a weird way of saying that.
Why?
The object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is... It's a crossbow.
Crossbow?
Yeah, I literally, as soon as I saw
You mean
them,
the bow?
It's a crossbow.
It's just a bow right here on the wall. There's a stick behind it.
Oh yeah, but when you put the stick behind it, it actually fuses into a crossbow.
I guess it's
But yeah,
kind
they
of
look
a
like
cross.
crossbow bolts. That little white tip is like where you notch it. That crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting.
I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks,
Are actually
are actually arrow sticks.
arrow sticks.
Can make for perfect arrows.
Yeah!
I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices.
Yep, and then you attach the statue to the crossbow bolt, and then you shoot it across country lines, and that's how the statue was able to get to the other side, right? That's what we're doing right now. We're establishing why the statue flew across the border, right? Like, that's why these hair sticks are important, because they help us understand how this...
Oh no! Oh no! We lost you. There, you're back.
Yeah, Twitch is just like, no, you gotta keep your blood pressure low. We register that your blood pressure is elevated. We gotta stop you. That's fine. I think the bit is funnier that it got cut off.
That's what BPS stands for. It's not bits per second. It's blood pressure per second.
Yeah, blood pressure per second. I mean, that's what it is.
Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues are transported? What?
Yeah, Edgeworth. Yeah, Edgeworth. You gotta be careful. If you keep going down that train of thought, the video is gonna freeze.
Furthermore, who could it have been who fired these Styx arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together.
Mr. Prosecutor, hold up for a second. Do you realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right?
Same thing that happens to everything else.
Same thing that happens to everything else. Nothing.
They don't fly at all. Trust me, I've tried.
I mean, sure saying it like he's tried. How do you know they don't fly at all?
Cut to him as like a toddler. Just like his entire life, his dream has been to launch an arrow with a statue.
So a Baal statue was draped in Yadagaras's clothes and then shot over here. Even if he fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Primadex statue didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm the realest they get.
First things first, I'm the realist.
The Primadex statues didn't sprout wings. Humph, of course they didn't.
Glad you understand. I feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact.
It's only
Physics.
crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation.
What?
You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind.
What are you on, Ezra?
The
What are you
Primadex
on?
statues flew, but not on a wing.
You're a little too high on life, my man.
Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you.
Allow me a bit of your time, and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Open up your mind and let the ephemeral energies of a wing take flight, man.
But that incredible scene just happened to have been caught on film, resulting in this photo.
Ha! What an incredible scene it was. This photo was taken by a freelance journalist, photojournalist, right?
Yes, so I hear.
Not every photojournalist is known to be honest, right? Especially not the ones that sell photos of spirits and giant creatures to tabloids.
Listen, you leave a lot of heart out of this.
Yes, I know what you mean. I've seen those sorts of photos many a time in court. But there have been times when those photos have turned out to be telling the truth. If you had ever stood in a court of law, you would know that's entirely plausible.
Ha! You really believe the stuff you're spewing right now. Courtroom certainly is a strange place if you say that, if what you say is true. But there really is something odd about that photo, no matter how you look at it. Even if you fired arrows from this side, they wouldn't. You know.
But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct?
But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing.
No, that's not necessarily true.
What?
What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions, it's the launching of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusions. What the shooter wanted to launch with a crossbow is not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. Oh, this is a new line.
If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbows launch?
The thing that the crossbow launched? Allow me to show you the answer.
Come on, show me what you've got. But I warn you, I'll know when you're just bluffing.
This is what was launched from the Salabastian office with the crossbow.
Go to the other page.
Which other page? This one?
The other page.
This one?
Yes. The wire.
This one?
Yes. Oh, I see it. That's a that's a thick wire. It's a very
Finally,
strong wire. I don't know how that would work, but that's what the game is implying. I
finally,
think.
we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow.
For I present to you that which was carried by the crossbow arrow across the sky, man. I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow and then shot at him into Coach's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy down to the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy. Oh, okay, then yeah, gravity. Gravity can bring that statue down.
Yeah.
What you're claiming is really what happened. I can see how Alabas's Prima Duck statue could have be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then, what about Babal's Prima Duck statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal. Going from the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Babalese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. How do you explain that?
Aha, I think I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick works. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head.
Motion? What motion?
These motions... this is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's Prima Duck statue.
Wow, this is a physics. All my physics heads out there. How?
Rotary motion, swinging motion, or bungee action?
Bungee action. Yeah, like literally 2 of them are physically impossible.
Which two?
It's rotary motion. You can't bungee. It's a vertical, like it's a horizontal line. You can't
It's not
bungee
horizontal,
horizontally.
it's diagonal.
I guess it is diagonal, but you still can't bungee diagonally. That's how that works. The whole purpose of bungee is that it's vertical. Could you imagine if like gravity worked in that way, where you could go diagonally and then get shot back?
Yeah, it does. A cannon. You launch yourself at a cannon.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like it's like a big paddle ball, and the world's a paddle. Yeah, you. Bam! I get it. Then swinging motion, there's not a vertex in the center that would be helping it swing, so it couldn't be swinging unless it's like tied to the moon, you know. So it has to be rotary motion. Something was pulleyed back.
I believe it was done via rotary motion. I feel like though, like there could be like kids who don't know what rotary motion means.
Yeah, no, like literally you would have gotten it wrong had you not had like a basic understanding of physics.
If the two statues are transported simultaneously.
Simultaneously, get real. The statues will collide somewhere along the way.
Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? If you shot an arrow with the 2 ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed.
Lang Zi says, don't object to cause success what is beyond reasonability. Taking into account the tension difference between the 2 wires, the top one would sag too much to the point where the statues will collide anyway.
Agent Lang. As you know, the Prima Duck statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. The fact that Babal's statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible.
Lang Zi says, Oh, wait.
Wow, good. All the dogs start barking.
Oh, my dog definitely is about to, and I apologize if he does. I have him trained to start howling when I do. Oh yeah, he's going. He's going.
Here's what I believe happened. Man, that poor dog doesn't know what just happened.
I'm sorry, I'm crying for all the outcries in chat right now. It's like my people need me.
Miss Hugh and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in 2 different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the 2 ends of the wire down on 1 arrow.
Yeah, I had to be really careful when playing Fire Emblem Engage because of Pandreo.
Because of what?
Pandreo, remember him? The cleric from the Sand Village?
Vaguely.
Yeah, he's like a party animal. He would go, hoo, 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 when you picked him for combat. It was great. I loved him.
Then the 2 of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues.
His sister was an atheist, which in a world where gods are like physical manifestations and truly exist is a bold choice to make. Let the record show.
I mean, at the same time, then, are they really gods?
Well, yeah, right? Like, I mean, that's very Edelgard coded, so we don't have to get into it. But yeah, that's a very fair statement to make.
After the switch was completed, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal, where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock, QED.
QED?
QED. Is that...
QED!
Is that the test that you take if you don't finish high school?
Yeah, I think so. Quod erat demonstratum. That's what that means. Which was to be demonstrated. To signify that the author's overall argument has just been proven.
Okay.
Ha! Ha ha ha! Grr.
Oh, the girl was because he got whipped.
Grr! I thought he was just being flirty. He's like, rawr. This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I am not the killer! Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Alright, Mr. Prosecutor. You promised me a lemon meringue.
Well, the proof is in the pudding, as it were.
You promised me lemon meringue. Pudding is a nice dessert, though. Is it lemon pudding?
It's yellow pudding.
It's lemon pudding.
It's yellow pudding.
Ooh.
That's the flavor, yellow.
I love when things are flavored a color. Truly, it's like my favorite vibe out of everything. It's like, what flavor is it? Red? Excuse me? It's red.
I mean, I think yellow flavor is just that, like, synthetic banana flavor. That's not actually banana.
Thank you so much. I was about to get on this huge soapbox and fight. I was about to fight because, like, I argue with my childhood best friend about this nonstop all the time. Yellow is banana flavor.
Yellow is synthetic banana flavor.
Blue is vanilla.
Okay. What?
I was not expecting that. I was not expecting you to just be like, checked out. Like, I don't think you've ever been so, like, not opinionated about it, anything. Like, you're either completely unopinionated or, like, very opinionated. Like, this is the first time in our entire existence of knowing each other where you're just like, eh.
I mean, you have a point. I don't... I haven't thought about it much, but yeah, sure. Blue's vanilla.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, knowing you, you would have like blue's blueberry. I'm like, yeah, blue is blueberry, but blue's also vanilla.
The blueberries aren't even blue; they're like a purple.
Yeah, they're like a purple. See, we know each other too well. Either way. So, do you think you can prove? Do you think you can read your lines? Do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened?
I feel like it's that meme with the kid that have you ever dreamed
that you could anything and you could have. No, that was me. That was me for sure.
I will sometimes just listen to that thing on loop like just a dozen times in a row because I just love that clip.
It does provide some very emotional catharsis for sure. Everybody, just take a second and go watch that meme right now. Like, if you're watching the VODs, the YouTube upload, just pause, like, and just absorb that beautiful moment in life where that child. I wonder what they're up to right now. I'm sure the internet knows, but that's lovely. Either way, because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir. Whoa, that's not appropriate. Not appropriate, Lang.
I agree.
We don't own people in America. Not anymore. Not anymore. We did that once. We don't like it anymore.
It's called a mail order bride.
Oh no! We still do it.
I agree that as long as there's no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no mere hypothesis, for there's one more piece of evidence.
One more? This should be interesting. You think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor.
The thing that made it possible to create a circular belt of a length of wire. I believe that is right here in this very room. Now then, I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible.
I mean, it's a very powerful fan, but like that's literally the only thing in this room that can provide a circular motion right now. This fan has the torque of like of an industrial size bridge mechanism. It's just like freaking like this is a fan that will cut your head off if you stand up too quickly.
Bold of you to assume that my head could reach that high.
Yeah, that's fair. Ha! It looked like you dropped another bomb on us again.
That being said, ceiling fans make me uncomfortable because I like moving anywhere near them.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is the reason why ceiling fans make people uncomfortable. The idea that they can lug a 2-ton statue.
I doubt it's 2 tons. They had to lift it off the podium.
Fair. I mean, it depends. Yeah, we'd have to like figure out because one of them is hollow. We know that for a fact, and it's the one going up, so you don't need as much tension. But if the mechanism is still attached to the entire fan, even when the one going down is still exerting pressure on that mechanism. So the fact that that ceiling fan is still attached while that huge statue is going down it, and B, can maintain that torque necessary to continue slowly pulling it down is incredible.
Well, that's how they make them in Alabasta.
They don't make them like that anymore. I'll tell you that.
They do in Alabasta.
They do in Alabasta, you're right. I did read this line, but look like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece of the trick are 2 pulleys.
Precisely, the ceiling fan is double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fan is made for the perfect pulley setup for the wire to run on.
Aru!
This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security.
impenetrable. They just see two statues just slowly pulling themselves up and down. The security guards are like, no. Not paid enough. How am I even gonna reach the sky? Like, they're in the air. I can't do anything about that.
Not like anybody's gonna believe this happened anyway, so.
Yeah, they're not on our country's soil. Like, literally, it's in the air. They're not touching our soil. There's nothing we can do. We don't own air.
Don't own the airspace above the.
That's terrible. If they actually don't own the airspace around the embassy, that's kind of bad. Oh, man. All my New York heads out there, they know what I'm talking about. Grr. You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. Did you know that in New York City, like New York City itself, like skyscrapers have air rights to like certain feet above where the skyscraper is, and they can sell it. That's how you see some skyscrapers like jutting out, is because they bought the airspace of the other skyscraper, so then they build like a little boil of building out past. It's weird. Like, zoning laws are so bizarre in like metropolitan areas. It's incredible. Sorry, getting off of that tangent. I bet you figured all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you?
The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabaster and Bubbly's offices, and that the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case.
Well, don't you dare make this wolf pay for his food.
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do?
A single point of the finger here, and this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now, but to rush in. Rush in. No choice but to rush in. There's a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is. Well. You there?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking. I mean, it would have to be somebody who knows that the crossbow bolts are the flower supports. So, and the only person who really takes care of those flowers is Alba. But like, do we just literally do the crossbow bolts?
Do you wanna do the crossbow bolts? I mean,
I guess so. Like, I literally, like, if it was a person, I would be like, yeah, it was Alba. But like, if it was, but like, it's not a person, so we can only either do the crossbow bolts or the flowers. Alba takes good care of them. I would say that one, yeah.
the smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited the room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that the person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout.
Edgeworth, that's a bad take.
What?
Like, somebody knew that the office had a fan in it. It's like, yeah, like, statistically speaking.
Yeah, but you can't take the chance and guess it if you're doing a international crime like this.
I guess. I don't know, man.
So as you may have already guessed, the person I'm accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with utmost care. Thus it can only be you, Quercus Alba.
I'm just happy to be a part of things.
Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm certain of what I am saying, and I'm sure that he is the culprit.
Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor. What was the ambassador trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you outlined? Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that?
I understand your need to doubt me. However, there's one thing that stands out to me as very odd.
Just one thing, huh?
The one single end result Ambassador Albus sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we'll finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. Well,
like why would Alba do it? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're saying?
Are you not listening?
I mean, vaguely.
Uh,
Associated.
Makes it clear that he was involved, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was if he knew that his statue was fake, he would want to switch him so his looked like the real one.
But his was the real one until the swap.
Huh.
I think this though is supposed to be something that's odd
something
if
wrong
he
with
did
the
it.
statue? Oh, yeah, I guess it would be odd that he switched them because his is a real one, right? I guess that's what they're going at?
Should we do this one, the one that came from?
Yeah, it used to be real, but was swapped with the fake because. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Edgeworth would explain it better.
I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Prima Deck statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. What better to ask for that reason than King Prima Dex himself?
I see, Ambassador. We'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission. This guy kind of looks like they're still a samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador?
I suppose it's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. It looks like a gap.
Hey, you're right. Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret?
Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction.
What? Hurry up and open it, Miles!
Alright, here goes.
Whoa. Wow, it really did open up. Hey, what's this thing that fell out?
I believe a more thorough examination is required. I can't examine handprint. Oh, I can't.
What's this prestidigitating in front of us?
These are Mr. Cochin's fingerprints. The fact they're on here suggests this statue once belonged to Babal.
So it was smuggled from Babal to Alabas, huh?
Why was there a need for them to smuggle it in?
So this is the real statue?
Is it? Yeah, I think this is the real one.
So the real one. So we've established the real one wasn't full. It was solid. It wasn't solid. It was also hollow. Then
I guess just not as
just
hollow.
The fake one just weighs less. Yeah.
Still looks pretty thick.
She thick. How many C's do you think?
2.5.
2.5 C's? That's pretty thick.
What in the... is this?
Are these plates to like print money? Hey, is this what I think it is? Oh. Almost verbatim.
How do you know where money comes from?
Oh, sorry.
That's
All my
real
money that's out
sketch.
there. That's real sketchy that I know that money's made from plates. Well, you have to remember from the origin of like printed text, you have to put things on plates, right? Like the printing press were plates that pushed ink onto paper.
Yeah.
So we do that with money. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Where it's a plate for making counterfeit bills.
Somehow it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabast to begin with. Oh no, this was the fake one. This was the hollow one.
Yeah, so it looks like the ambassadors trade statues with each other to exchange illicit goods.
Maybe.
Oh.
The Prima Deck statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the Secretariat, and the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Shinar, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damask II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damask II and... then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Elba?
You're the leader of the smuggling ring. My country's a mess. And it's all because of you? You're the one, the master second?
Answer us!
I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin.
Just quit screwing around. I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. If there's one thing I'm sure of, is that you're the real ringleader, Quercus Alba.
It's not good to speak with such subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang.
Subjectivity. My conclusion is anything but, and it is the result of logic and investigation.
Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago, you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you still don't get why I came back.
Excuse me?
You see, the reason why I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you.
What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation. Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning. See? That's what I said. That's what Shady and I said combined.
He had a lot of trust for Edgeworth in there,
Yeah, right?
considering how he feels about prosecutors.
Yeah. You did? I knew that this whole incident had been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we couldn't get in to take another look.
Ah, so that's why you put on this big show to accuse Francisca of the murder. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights.
Yeah. If I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given us the okay to poke around. So that's what this was all about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility to help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening. I thank you.
You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow, if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, that you would be able to figure out the real culprit with their special brand of logic.
The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be as a prosecutor-detective team, right?
I don't know about all that. One thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man. I'm itching to see that old man gets what's coming to him.
Oh, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you?
You were the one who's planned to use me to push all your guilt onto the sis. But unfortunately, you misjudged me.
Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of a smuggling ring.
Don't be such a sore loser! If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you should acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes, then I would like to first see some of this thing you call evidence. I tell you, I knew nothing, really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. Doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything.
It doesn't make any sense. Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us.
The proof that Interpol has been after which points to this man as the ringleader. If we could somehow find that proof now, then we could see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I could use to break this case wide open? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, the prosecutor of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence.
Needless to say, we One Karmas are commanded to achieve nothing but victory. And by any means necessary.
The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at that time. I no longer follow the path of Madhya Vidakama, and I won't follow the path of the Yadagrasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law and what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make by my own hand, here and now. Do we use the illegal evidence trump card, or do we lose the case?
Well, I don't wanna do something illegal.
So you want to lose the case?
And there's no way you can pop a save or anything, is there?
No, there's only save and quit options for this game.
Yeah.
Just quick saves.
I mean, I guess we gotta use it, right? Because otherwise we lose the case.
I mean,
No, don't use it. Maybe we can turn it around. Don't use it. Don't use it.
I am a prosecutor and I can't allow myself to use evidence such as these.
Mr. Edgeworth, I read your thoughts. You don't do something about it, I was gonna get away with it.
I know, but...
What are you holding back for? The only thing about karma you pursue is the perfect proof. You really do have what it takes to complete our argument, and there's absolutely no reason not to use it. Like Z says, the reason people judge people is because people are people. Are you surprised that I actually got that right?
I'm surprised that somebody wrote that line.
People weren't born to be chained by the law. Laws were born to protect the people. You're the only one here right now that can put this guy out to pasture. And that is the only way a second or third generation of Zhengfa's people will be born. Can you really still hesitate knowing the fate of a nation rests in your hands? Yeah, I guess I could break the law, everyone. Jeez.
Why are you putting the fate of an entire different foreign country in Edgeworth's? Like, that's not his responsibility.
It's not his responsibility.
There's no limit to the law. Any law limit that exists was set there by man. When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reason were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show.
So we're justifying using illegal evidence in court.
With the justification being that it's not illegal if we do it.
It's not illegal if we do it.
Master Elba, I wonder if you might recognize this. Recognize this. I said that really weirdly. Inflected.
Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life.
It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates.
Oh, is that what it is?
This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG-8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin.
Oh, so why would such a card be in your possession?
Because it was hand-delivered to me. by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu.
Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense, and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that this card contains directions from the ringleader?
I'll have you know the card is not the only thing I was given.
What?
This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG-8 incident.
A KG-8 incident?
The card in the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate.
Oh, very impressive. I must admit, I am very curious now. Very curious indeed that these case-deciding pieces of evidence you presented.
The prey the Yatagarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man, who has had free reign for 10 long years, to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me.